Hey friends, and welcome back to today's video. Maggie and I are so happy that you're here. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of everything. We have a small haul to show you. We have a few little snippets from some days in the life stuff to share, and we also have done some moving around of furniture. We have this new hutch that I found behind me that I'm going to take you through the process of how I got it here, and then we're going to just do some tweaking around the house. You know, the same old stuff. You know, I get bored with things easily, so I'm always changing things. That's nothing new. So if that sounds like fun, I hope you stick around because today is sure to please. It's out mowing, and I'm going to attempt to salvage this top hutch by putting it on here. And if it fits, then I'm taking that shelf down and I'll have two hutches in my dining room. Wish me luck. I can't, the shelves are not attached, so I can't use those to help brace it up, and I'm not very tall, so. I think it works, but selling art on the idea is going to be a different story. Crazy things we do, you know, the crazy things we do. All right, I'm going to try to get this shelf cleaned off, and I'm debating, should I take the shelf down so that it's a done deal? Because if it's done, it's done. He's not going to undo it. He loves me too much to undo it. But when I'm in the process of creating my ideas, as far-fetched as they are, he does try to talk me out of them. So, and sometimes he'll just animately put his foot down if he thinks it's dangerous. So he would have put his foot down on this one. But anyway, let me see. I'm going to turn this off for a minute, and then we'll go from there. I got it in place. And I think once I paint it black, it'll blend in together, and I'll have another space for another collection. I still think Art's not gonna like it, but we're gonna give it a shot.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by.
Art's outside weed eating, and I'm challenging myself to get this all painted before he gets back in. We'll see. He came in once, but he didn't pop in here. He came into the kitchen. I thought for sure he'd see me, but he didn't.
Oh, I feel so alive.
Alrighty, I've got it painted except for the shelves. So next I'm going to paint the shelves, and then maybe we can start decorating it. I just wanted to share with you my friend mail, and I'm going to leave the note that came with it to myself. But this came from Michelle over at Uniquely Vintage You. And Michelle, I just want to say that the note is just super special, and thank you so much for thinking of me. She knew that I had been wanting to collect the bingo cards, and so she sent me some, and I wanted to show you how sweetly she packaged this little goodie bag. Let me get these open and show you what she sent. So of course I knew she was going to be sending these beautiful bingo cards, and I'm just in awe that I have so many that I can scatter about, and I'm so excited to have these. This is super special to me because my dad my dad played bingo, and I used to take him, and my daughter used to take him, and it was like a regular thing that we did together. So this is extremely sentimental to me, and I would keep it up. You know, I will keep my bingo cards up all year round because it reminds me of my dad. And so those are super special to me. And then I've always admired her little her stars, and she sent me one of the stars, and I am in love with it. This is super, this will always make me think of Michelle, and I feel like I have a little piece of her home in my home, and I just love that. She scatters these about, and I've seen them in her decorate with them all year round too, so it'll stay up and out somewhere. So I'm excited about that. And then she sent me this beautiful dish towel, and it's really extra big, so I'm loving this. This I will get a lot of use out of. So thank you for sending these to me, Michelle. You are one of my very best besties, and I love you. All right, I have a very small but very good haul from shopping with Andrew the other day. I stopped at 2 stores, Second Thought Consignment Shop in Woodstock, Virginia, and right next door to it, they're owned by the same person, is a antique mall. And I can't remember the exact name of it, but basically it's an antique mall and it has vendors. This I got from the consignment shop. It is a set of 8 strawberry themed napkins. They're vintage cloth napkins. For $3. So 8 for $3 I thought was a really good deal, and I just love the color. I think that this is going to be a perfect addition, like a perfect pop against the jadeite that I have and that I started collecting. So I'm really excited about these. Happy to have found them. I'm not necessarily a strawberry theme girl, but I like the color. So then I'm always picking up doilies when I find them. And I picked up 2 very large round doilies. I'm not going to be able to get it all the way out right now, but here's the one. And I just love it. It is slightly discolored. I don't think that's going to come across on camera, but it is slightly discolored, which I also love. I like them when they're stained and grungy looking, like you can tell that they've been worn and loved a good bit. But this one is in really good condition. It's not stained at all, but it is slightly off color, which I love. And the bright white ones are not my favorite. I like them, but they're not my favorite. And then this one's not slightly, it's much smaller, but it's also another round one, and I love that. These 2 doilies came from the antique mall, if I haven't said that already, and they were $3 a piece. And then at the antique mall, I picked up, well, we'll start with this little guy. There's no markings on him. So I don't know if he's bone china, made in Japan or anything. I mean, I could Google Lens him, and I probably will at some point, but I just thought he was cute. I would love to start collecting something that's small like this. I just don't know what yet. This little shelf I think would be perfect for my little smalls. This little guy was $3.95, I think. He was under $4, just under $4 for him. And then this was $8 for this little shelf. It has 2 little holes that I can hang. It doesn't have a hanger on it, so I would have to hang it there. But I don't think I'm going to hang it on the wall. I think I'm going to sit it and make a vignette around it. But I love it. I could even use it as a little spice rack too. If I can find the vintage jars, this would be perfect for my spice rack that I've been wanting. Nonetheless, things like this are something that I always pick up when they're a good price because they always come in handy, always. If it's in a vignette, if you just want to add some height to something, I mean, they're perfect. You're not wasting your money buying things like this, so. Well, at least in my opinion. I think some people who don't get the vintage thrifting kind of thing might think it's a waste of money, but I get it, so I picked that up. And then the last thing that I picked up at the antique mall was this little tobacco box. It is a tobacco box, and it has the information on the bottom. So I'm not 100% sure. I haven't taken the time to really look at this stuff a whole lot. Haven't even cleaned it yet. But I'll probably Google and to see, if I can find out any more information about this. But I do think that this is pretty cool. I don't necessarily, actually, there is a date up here, 1878, but I don't know if this is an actual date or if this was just like something somebody made. I don't know. I really have no way of knowing. But it's really cool. This one kind of stumps me because it says Leatherwood Virginia. I don't know if that's a place. I've never heard of it. Star of Henry, bright pounds. I don't know. If you guys know, let me know, but I'm going to Google and see if I can. It's the same on both sides, so I'm kind of thinking that this is like the actual tobacco box of some sort. I don't know, but we're going to find out. I'm going to Google lens it, and if I find out any information, I'll have it listed somewhere in a little little picture-in-picture kind of thing going on there. This right here is the star of the show. The tobacco basket was $6. But I forgot to mention that. But this is the star of the show for my haul. I have been wanting this set for a really long time. And I have seen it fairly priced at times. And I'm late to message to get it on Facebook. Or if it's on eBay, I am outbid. But this is a really good set. And you can also find this set like on Etsy. I've seen this set in various places. So if it's something that you want, you definitely can find it. And at a pretty decent price. It's not like they're astronomically priced. I think you can get it from anywhere from, some of them are going for like $34, which I think is pretty fair. And you can buy, there's one that I saw that was new, like brand new, unopened, legit from the 1970s, I believe, with the wrapping, original wrapping and everything, for I think $59, $60. So they are out there. If that's something that you're interested in, just Google Lens it and it'll pull up a bunch of options and just go down the rabbit hole of finding it. But I got this for $14.99, the whole set. And the funny thing is that I walked past it 3 times and didn't realize it was sitting there. My son actually went back for something, and when I walked back with them, I happened to look up and I'm like, oh my goodness, is that what I think it is? I pulled it down, realized that it was full of stuff, and I thought it might just be the bag for $14.99, but no, I got the thermos and I got the sandwich container. I don't know if it's a sandwich container. It's a food container is what it's listed at. And I'm not sure if it's supposed to have more in it, but I was able to score it with 2 cups. So I just think, and it's in great condition. It's in really, really good condition. You can tell that it was used and worn, which I love. I'm glad. This is a slightly, let me move this. This is slightly discolored, this box. It has some discoloration, wear and tear, but I love it. I'm going to run it through the dishwasher. And the thermos has some dents in it, so I definitely know that it was, see, you can tell, has a little rust going on at the bottom and the top. But this is what gives it character to me. I love it this way. I wouldn't want it any other way. And it definitely needs cleaned. But the lid is in good condition. It still has the top. Sometimes you'll get them and they don't have the tops to them. But this one's in pretty good condition. I can't complain. I love it. And there's only a little bit of like wear and tear on the handles a little bit. Like I said, it needs cleaned. I think that's a little teeny stain there. But all in all, it's in great shape. It had somebody's name. So somebody actually used this. This is legit. And I love the things that have been used and worn and somebody loved them and used them well. You know, that's what vintage is all about in my mind. So I'm excited to get it. It's nice on the inside. I mean, it's good. So all I have to do is clean it up and stage it. And I'm not sure if I'll stage it in this video. I'm not sure, but we'll see. All right, so I have been sitting here Google lensing and searching this box. And this is an actual, it's an actual box from 1876. What makes it so, it's an antique, of course. And what makes it so unique and special is that this took place during the colony days because this tobacco was like one of our cash crops. What I am seeing different though from my box and the other boxes that I'm able to find is I'm not able to find one that looks exactly like this with these compartments. So it could be that someone actually added this compartment stuff in, which would have lowered the value of the box itself, because typically they had a sliding top that went on it. So what I'm thinking is that this is an actual box. The bottom part is actual, authentically antique, but it has been modified, which is fine. It lowers the value, but hey, I only paid $8 for it. And even with it missing a top, and even if it was, it had been edited a little bit, you can still find that there's still more than $8. If you go to WorthPoint, if you go to Etsy, if you go to eBay, all the typical sites that I usually go to get information from and kind of gauge pricing on, this would probably go from $24 at the cheap end from a seller all the way up to about $60. If it had the top and hadn't been modified, it would have been for way more. But right now, in the condition that it's in, I'm going to say that I could probably safely say that the going rate would be about $24. So I definitely got a good deal on that. So how cool is that? It's from colonial days. Love it. That is so cool. Alrighty, friends, you want to see the adventure that Art and I have undertaken? They're baby bunnies, and their eyes aren't even open yet. So they were abandoned, and Art and I are going to try to keep them alive. So we'll see how that goes. This was definitely not on my to-do list for today. It's Father's Day. We found them. Art brought them in the house this morning. We found them yesterday, but we thought maybe Mom would come back for them. And Mom is not coming back. Mom is dead, so Mom is not coming back. So we are going to, we've called some wildlife rescues. I've gotten some information. Unfortunately, they're not able to take, any of the wildlife rescues that are near us are not able to help us, but we were able to get enough information to try to save them on our own. So that's what we're going to do. Art's currently out getting the special nipples that are needed and the formula that's needed to keep them alive. They get milk for 10 days, this supplement for 10 days. And then after that, we can introduce them to veggies and bits of hay. Of course, this is not like hay you'd pick out of the ground or off the ground or anything. It's like good, healthy, like hay and vegetables and things like that. Introduce them to that and see if we can wean them off of the milk and onto, or the formula and onto this. And then they should, typically in the wild, they are on their own at 3 weeks. They go off on their own. They come out of their little burrow and go into the world on their own at 3 weeks. So we are going to give them 3 weeks as naturally as we possibly can. And then we're going to release them back into the wild and hopefully they thrive. So we'll keep you posted on how the bunnies are doing. Right now, I'm a nervous wreck and so is Art.
Everyone needs a shoulder to cry on. Everyone needs a helping hand. Everyone needs someone to rely on. Yes, everyone needs a friend. So let's come together, celebrate each other, stand united as one. We lift our hands up and pray, lay all our love before Him with all of our faith. He is the change within us, there is a light. Let Him lead the way, lift our hands up and pray today. Oh, pray. Everyone needs somebody to lean on. cares. If we come together as one, help each other get stronger, we are bound in the name of the Lord. So let's come together, celebrate each other, stand united as one. We lift our hands up and pray, lay all our love before Him with all of our faith. He is the change within us, there is a light, let Him lead the way. Lift our hands up and pray today. Oh, pray. Oh, pray. Oh, pray. Oh, pray.
There's laundry going, there's people mowing, it's loud, just ignore the background noise. I moved the hutch over here, I like it. I moved the pictures around to make more sense. This I'm happy with. I took my books off of my desk and put them here because it just made more sense to me, but I'm still playing with it. I may switch this around. I want to get my big pieces set first, so that's my dilemma right now. I'm happy and I'm going to leave this here. And Art does not like this table here. And I kind of do, but I kind of understand where he's coming from. I want to keep my Victrola in here because it is a music reading, kind of calming, sitting, culturistic room. So I definitely want to keep that in there. But it was over here, and I don't know if I'm going to keep it there or not. Now remember, we also have to put our Christmas tree in here during Christmas, and I love to use this as Christmas, my desk, as like a Santa's, work desk theme, and I love that. I'm going to continue to build upon that and use that. So this will have to stay in. So I'm just not sure what we're going to do come Christmas time, and Art told me not to think that far ahead, not worry about it, but I can't help but think about it. So my dilemma right now is to try to figure out the best thing for these 3 pieces. Now this can go to the basement. I don't have to keep it up here. I can put it in the basement, but I keep my doilies in the drawer, so it's very functional for me, and I'd like to keep it in here. But here's another option. Again, forget the mess. Just overlook the mess and the noise. So now I have this empty space here, but we want to keep it empty because of this. So when we have everybody over, and everybody meaning when we have the kids here and we're having dinner, it's kind of hard sometimes to get around the table. And so when the side table was here, we would literally have to, like, the person that was sitting here would have to get up, push their chair in so the other person can get out and go back to the kitchen to get seconds, or to, take their plate to the sink or whatever. And we like being able to make it convenient where you don't have to do that. Now there's plenty. We moved it out just a little bit once we took this out. We shifted it, and now there's plenty of room going around it, so nobody has to do that. So I want to keep it that way, but this feels so empty to me, and it feels so heavy on this side. So I'm thinking of moving this over here and moving the dress form back over there, or putting it back in this corner. I don't know, but I'm thinking of moving it over there. My problem is it going to look, I don't know. But if I move this here, take this out, and then I put this piece over, let me see if I can turn you to, if I put this piece here, then maybe, it's close enough to this area because I house my dishes in here. So it's close enough that I can move it over. I was trying to find extra storage for all of the dishes that I have because I have so many dishes. And I have plenty of cabinet space in the kitchen, so I could move it over there, but I like being able to see my dishes in there. So I'm I'm having a bit of a dilemma, and I love the vignette on top, so I'm going to be sad if I have to move it. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but stay tuned. I'm going to play and move things around as I clean, and then I will show you what I come up with. Alrighty, so I've moved it over, and I kind of like it. I don't know. Whenever I do something like this, I have to let it kind of sit for a minute. Let me see. Like, okay, so from this angle, it's kind of what it's looking like. And I don't think it's necessarily too bad. I don't know. Would it look better if I made it flush against the wall the other way? Let me try that and see. That is not going to make me happy at all. If it's going to go there, it's going to have to be at an angle. That's just all there is to it. It's going to have to be at an angle. Okay, so, oh Lord. I've cleaned off the table. I'm getting ready to put my centerpiece back on. And then what I've done over here, let me get you a little bit closer. So I kind of like how this fills the space. And I like the cutting boards hanging and the cutting boards up top. This shelf is a work in progress. I just put things, what was left over from this room that I wasn't sure where I was going to put it. I just put it on that shelf for now. That's not going to stay that way. But this will stay that way. And all I have to do is when I switch out for fall, is switch out, of course, taking out, I hate when it does that, the camera focuses that way. I'll take out the flag and the flowers, leave the rolling pins. I actually have too many rolling pins for that container. But for right now, I'm just trying to get the big pieces in place, and then I can play with the decor later. I just want to get the big pieces in first. And I really like having this shelf for my soup terrains for now. I know that will change because I will get bored with it and I will switch it out. But for right now, it's a nice place to house my soup terrains. So let me get the table put back. Oh, let me get the table put back together, and then I will work on this corner over here. And I think I'm going to play with that table a little bit. We'll just see. Alrighty, guys. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to leave the dining room this way for a bit. I think what I want to do is actually find something else that I can put here and here that can give me some symmetry. Or, I don't know. I really don't know. I just feel like this room isn't fully finished yet for some reason. And I can't put my finger on it. I think it's because I need to shop to find the right pieces to go here. I think this is too bulky for me in that corner. It just doesn't feel right. Now, if I could find another one that is the same size, then I could actually go on either side. Actually, wait a minute. I think I might, you know how we tried it flush against the wall this way? Maybe if I do it flush this way, it'll make a difference. Hold on and let me see. Alrighty, friends, I think that I like it better there. I know that to me, I feel like I don't want all the furniture on one wall, but then again, breaking it up also didn't make sense to me. So I think what I'm going to do is leave this here, and then I'm going to focus on this corner, and I think I'm going to move this little vignette area over to here. And then I don't know what I'll put there. But then I'll only have this corner and this corner to try to figure out. I actually like this. If I could find another picture to go here, I think I would like that, or something that's the same on either side. I'd be happy with that. So stay tuned to see what I come up with here. And then let's see. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's a work in progress. Hopefully by the end of this video, this will this room and that room will be put together somewhat. All right, since I'm struggling with the layout of the dining room, I thought maybe I will paint these shutters just on one side and then put these in the dining room to kind of give the room a little bit more depth and, you know, kind of really fill in the space a little bit more instead of the vignettes being so choppy and disconnected. So we'll see how that goes. I'm basically just watering down some chalk paint, wiping it on with a brush, and then wiping it off with a rag. And then that's giving it that really light kind of, it's almost like a black wash. Instead of a white wash, I'm doing a black wash. So we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, friends, so I think I've settled on everything for right now. I do want to take the pickberry wreath down. I think it's just, I don't know. I think it's too much with the vase here, so the picture. So I may take that down and leave it plain for right now. I did change up my vignette a little bit so I could stage my beautiful thermos and thermos lunchbox kit. So I have that here with my campfire tin that I had to make because I can't find one yet. That's in my price range, or that I'm willing to pay for. I know I'll spend a little bit for it, but I have a price point that I want to meet, and I'm not going to go beyond it. So still waiting patiently. And everything else stayed the same. I just added my apples up here to give it another pop of red. You know, I put the tobacco box here, and I'll continue to collect butter pats and put them in there as I find them. And these are actually not butter pats, guys. These are actually doll dishes. But they look like a butter pat. They're the same size as a butter pat. So it's going to give me the same look and feel for half the price. Butter pats are hard to come by in my area. And it's not something that I've ever kept an eye out for. I'm okay with not having authentic butter pats and just having the little dishes because honestly, to me, it's kind of the same thing. It's the same size. You could use it for the same thing, so it's okay. If I find authentic ones, great. If I don't, that's okay too. And so everything pretty much stayed the same. And then I just put the chair and I moved the Coca-Cola picture to fill in the space. I put the chair and my dad's old barrel there until I find something else that's a little bit more substantial. This will do. Plus we also put a Christmas tree in here, and this is the corner that it usually goes in. So keeping it kind of light is fine. And then it doesn't look too bad. I went ahead and took everything down. So this makes a little bit more sense. And what I plan to do is this is where my plate wall will go. And I will just put plates along there, and that'll fill in that wall really nicely. And then I'll still like play around with my little vignettes in the corners. You know me, I like to use every little bit of space. So if I can find small furniture that'll fit here, like little end tables with drawers, corner tables with drawers for storage, that would be great. And I may do that if I can find it. I love the cutting boards hanging. Love how that looks. I kept this vignette the same, except moved the picture over there. So that looks really good that way. And then as far as the little cupboard with my soup turreens, I just went ahead and removed the lids and the spoons because that looks more interesting to me. The spoons never get displayed and they're gorgeous, so I just went ahead and took them out. I could put some plants in here. I could tuck other things in here, so it gives me more possibilities to fill in the space. So I'll play with that. And then I'm using this shelf that I thrifted as a spice rack for my spice tins. Now, these are the only authentic vintage ones that I have so far. I'm still collecting, and remember, I like to collect the ones that are the green and the red and the white. So we'll see how that goes. And I love that it just goes perfect with this. This is a baking powder box, and it's an antique, and I just love it. And that's what I had the rolling pins in, but I took them out and put them up above my refrigerator. I'll show you that another day, but it works for right now. You know, I'll play with it, and the next time, probably in the next video, you might see it totally different. You just never know. And then in this room, I've moved this little hutch over here. I don't know what your curio cabinet, I don't know what you call it. display, whatever. But it houses my amber glass. It is almost that time of year, and I have always wanted to display the amber glass, but just never had a spot for it. So I went ahead and made space for it in here. I like how that looks. I filled the space down here with the stool, since I don't have two for the two chairs. And then I have all my hymnals here, and hymnal filler I put. This is the Bible from my childhood. This was my first teenage Bible. And then these are just some random little books, but the rest of these are hymnals, and this is an old call to worship book. And then the old church music box. So, and then this kind of helps to kind of disguise this is an electric piano that I've had since I was a teenager. So the electric piano needs an outlet, and unfortunately the outlets are not centered on the wall. So we have to run an extension cord to an outlet in order for me to play it. So this kind of camouflages that a little bit. And then of course the gallery wall has not changed. You know how much I love my frames, and I am currently looking for prints to put in them, but I'm fine with empty frames as well. And I went ahead and added this picture over here, and I think what I'm going to do is do a DIY on the frame. Even though I love it, I think I'm just going to give it a hint of gold so that it ties in better with everything else. I just moved the Victrola over here by the window. Nothing really changed on it. Of course, all of this has changed, so I'm not going to go over any of this really, because it's a work in progress, but I think it would be a great little curiosity cabinet for me, which is what I do for Halloween, but I think I'm going to try to fill it in as a curiosity cabinet for all year round. So I have my little stylus back here. I got to move that for my iPad. All right, so what is really cool that I thought I'd share with you guys is that I have a lot of my mom and dad's old stuff. So I pulled it out of a box, some of it, not all of it, some of it. So all of these are letters back and forth from my dad and my mom to and from each other when he was stationed in Korea. This dates back to like 1949. And then here are a few letters that were from my granddad to my dad, or my mom's sister to her, or one of my dad's brothers to him, my grandmother, my dad's mom to him. These are really sentimental, cute letters that I have there that are all handwritten that I love looking at. And then right here are some of my dad's tax records from way back in the day, like his personal property taxes here. And it's just so cool to look at. I just love it. And up here, I have an old stamp. I don't know how old that is, but it is definitely super old. I think it says a penny. I can't read it, but it is super old. And I love that. I just have an old little address. I don't know what it came off of or from. Then I have a postmaster. It's like a receipt of postage. So I really think that is super cute, you know, nostalgic to have. Not cute, I mean, it's very nostalgic. I love having stuff from my childhood and from my family. And then up here, I actually have my mom and dad's marriage certificate, which I think is super cool. And then I have a bunch of my dad's baptismal certificates, Bible school certificates from when he was younger, when he was first baptized, and all of that. And then in here, this is full of letters. My dad built the cabinets inside of my oldest brother's schoolhouse. And all of the children wrote my dad a thank you card. And one of the letters, of course, if I can find it, they're all so sweet, and their handwriting is just amazing. But this letter on the bottom here was from my brother to my dad. And look at how sweet that is. I love that. That is just the sweetest thing. I haven't told my brother yet that I found these, but I think I'll have to let him know that I found it. But anyway, these are just all very sentimental little letters from family. These are the most precious because they are to, you know, mom and dad's love letters. But I just love having all of that here, and this area just fits that so perfectly. So what I was thinking is trying to find some, this reminds me, this area right here reminds me of, you know, the call to worship plaques in churches where they would put like the number of attendance, offering, or what hymn you're singing, the page numbers and all of that. It kind of reminds me of that, the way this was built. So I can tuck some cards or whatever in there. Originally, they had little slats that they put here. So it was like a file folder kind of area. But I think what I want to do is find some, well, I can go to Etsy and the same, it might be even in the same shop. I don't know, probably not. But anyway, find some of that lettering and tuck it here. I think that would be really cute. And then maybe some more little books like this I could find. I thought about redoing this whole cabinet and rebuilding it, but I've left it this way this whole time. So I think I'll continue to just kind of leave it in its natural glory. I don't know. To be determined. These are some old negatives that were found in that box that I just went through the other day. And then, you know, just little odds and ends here and there. But I love this little area so much. And then this is what I decided to do with the hutch top. I moved it all in here. I think it looks so much better. And then I added these shutters from the old home place. They were in my dad's shop, and I've always loved them. And I did at one time bring them into the old home place and decorated with them. But then they went back up to the shop and they had been there ever since. So I pulled them out and I love them. Of course, you saw, I did a little clip in this video where you saw that I, you know, instead of whitewash, I blackwashed them. Everything is black with me. I don't know why I'm drawn to that. Maybe it's because it's primitive and I love that kind of thing. But anyway, I think this looks great. I'm probably going to change this up top here. I think it's going to look great at Christmas with greenery, but I may put some smaller baskets or the buttocks baskets, more of those, but I just threw them up there because I had them up here. So I just threw them up there rather than walk all the way down to the basement. I have some area that I can decorate with smalls down there. That hides an outlet and everything. So that works really well. But what I love about this door, only this one, it has the keyhole. And then this is where the doorknob would go. I think that's really cool. But I just decorated it with old stuff. And you guys that have been around a while know that that cash register has special meaning. My grandparents owned a general store, and so I like to put their picture with it just to kind of nod to, you know, that part of my family history with the old keys, some of my dad's old Bibles. And I like to decorate in front of Bibles because it's kind of like my backdrop, so I put little small stuff there. Don't be afraid to decorate in front of your books. These are not just Bibles. There's some Bibles and then there's some other books, but don't be afraid to decorate with books. And there's that little dog that I thrifted. And of course, good junk really does tell good junk tells stories. And frames, you know how much I love them. I just tuck them in everywhere. They add another layer of, you know, another layer. I have that old lock sitting there. Sorry, this is getting blurry. A little old knob, some more keys. And then my dad's sign is right there. And then I made this faux tea. So I love sitting it out. Now, my daughter thrifted this for me, and it's a beautiful little cup, Royal Albert. So yes, I put resin in it, and I love it. I think it looks really cute. And then I just put some of these old clocks that my dad has given me, just some old little tchotchke kind of things. So, And that's how that looks. And I just moved that picture over there. So that's how that's looking, and I'm pretty happy with it. Alrighty, friends, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you for joining us today. I know it was kind of a bit all over the place, but that's how things go sometimes. So if you liked today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. You can also connect with me on Instagram and Facebook, and I also have a Pinterest. All of those are linked in my description box of every video. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and become one of my besties, and hit the notification bell so that you're alerted each time that I upload a video, which is every Sunday. And until then, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful week. I love all of you to bits, to bits, to bits, and I will see you then.